Before today's episode of Same Business, Different Day, I want to invite you to listen to Velocity, the Vista Chamber podcast, where we interview the movers, shakers, and changemakers of Vista, California. Watch Velocity on YouTube or tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. Velocity, moving Vista forward.
This is actually something that has been woven within this show.
Yes.
Over the past couple of seasons, a couple of athletes that relate that to business. Does sports relate to business to you at all? I mean, obviously you got the relentless part.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Teamwork. There's a lot, right? Yeah.
You know what the biggest thing is? Discipline.
Yeah.
Because having your own business it's all about discipline. Because many days you're going to wake up, you're not going to feel like working. I don't care how many hours you meditate and you do all of that. But some days you're just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But the discipline is doing the work when you don't feel like it.
That's right.
You know, there's a quote that says success is 90% of success is just showing up.
That's right.
Just show up, right? And then a lot of times we don't. But I believe it goes back to the right kind of mentorship and being surrounded by the right type of people who will help you, you know, when you have those dark days. Like, you know, Zeke, I don't feel like it. You come here to the studio, your team, everyone's bubbly. Hey, what's up? Let's go. You feel better. They inspire you.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing to translate from sports into the business world is the discipline, the mindset of doing the same thing over and over until you master it, and repetition.
Same business, different day.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Same Business, Different Day podcast. I am your host, Zeke Corley, recording as usual from the beautiful Film Hub here in Vista, California. Now, charisma is in the building. We're bringing energy and optimism with our guest today, dispelling the theory that nice guys finish last. Not only is he doing well, he's reaching out to help others do so as well. But we'll get into that later. First, we want to take time to get to know the powerful Wasim The Dream Hajjiri.
Thank you so much, Zeke, for that wonderful introduction. It's such a pleasure to be here, and thank you to all of your team as well. It's an absolutely amazing building. It's just the feeling of walking in. Everything looks amazing. Yeah. And you have a wonderful, wonderful team. So thank you for having me.
Man, thank you. I told you, look how gracious you are. I told you guys he was a nice guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love it, man. And thank you for bringing that energy in here, man. And heck, you were even over there giving some stock advice to the team, man. You didn't have to share, but you share. You're a sharer. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we're going to get to know you a little bit, right? Okay. We're going to talk about some early experiences before you became the amazing business person that you are today.
Thank you.
So I really, because you have such an amazing story. I was reading about it. I learned a little bit about it when I met you.
Thank you.
And I mean, it's got to be told. And maybe it's been told in other places, including in your book. But I want you to tell it on this format here. I really look forward to it, man.
Perfect. Okay, so I am from Jordan. Jordan is on the map, is close to Turkey, Egypt, and it's very far away. So it's going to take you 19 hours of flying time just to get there.
Okay.
Back in 2013, I moved out here to the US. Initially, it was actually just a 2-week vacation. I did electrical engineering. It's a crazy, crazy story.
Okay.
Graduated summer of 2013, went to New York for a couple of weeks. Last couple of days before I was about to go home, my father calls me. He's like, so Wasim, what do you want to do with your life? It's like, I have no idea. So my father wanted to push me to stay here and figure it out, basically. Unfortunately, I had, the citizenship because they worked on it from a long time. So he's like, don't come back home.
What? Really?
Yeah, fresh
now,
engineering
how old
graduate.
were you now?
What was I, 23?
Okay.
About 23.
And at that point, you didn't know what you wanted to do with your life?
No, nothing, nada. I went to New York for a vacation. I just got my engineering degree. I did electrical engineering and no plans whatsoever. Okay, maybe get a random job, but still, it was just barely graduated.
So a random job with an engineering degree? I mean, so in Jordan, when you get this degree, does it not mean so much, or is it it doesn't lead into a career?
So it does, but just like, the US is a different story, but the opportunities are less.
Okay.
The pay is extremely less.
Okay.
So I even talk about it in my book. As an example, on average, engineers start out with about $4,500 a month, let's say. Okay, roughly. In Jordan, you start with $500 a month, or maybe $600.
Wow.
So if you see the difference, it's tough, and then... So my father was aware of that, and he wanted me to seize the opportunities here. And that day for 2 days, like, okay, how am I going to tell my mom? I called my mom. I'm like, guess what? I'm not coming back.
So she wasn't there with your dad when you were having this, he was having this conversation
They were
with you.
all in Jordan.
Okay.
And I was with my cousin in New York for a 2-week vacation.
But your dad didn't have that conversation with your mom?
No. Nothing at all. It was, I think he understood of taking, he understood the value of taking the leap of faith.
Sure.
Before you overthink and, get in your head and start to,
especially
get
when you're young.
Yeah. And, I was naive, which was perfect. I'm like, yeah, America, the land of opportunity. It's going to be easy. I'm going to be on the beach and life is good.
I heard those New York beaches are cold.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So when I told my dad, I'm like, I would love to go to California. I've been to San Diego when I was a kid, and I have one of my half brothers who live here. Canceled my way back home, and I moved to San Diego. Fresh start.
Okay, but wait. The conversation with your mom. You said that you brought that up. So, I mean, how did that go over?
Oh, that didn't go very well. A lot of drama and crying for sure. It was tough. She's like, what do you mean you're not going to come back? You don't have a job. You don't have a plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, I promise you, I'll figure it out. Just talk to my dad. He'll explain to you. And he backed me up on that one. Very, very tough.
Wow.
But I did not even understand at that time what I was doing.
Sure.
It's like, oh, yeah, just move. Okay, no plans. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I arrived to San Diego, and I did not understand exactly how to get a job. I didn't know how challenging it is, because even in Jordan, we call them CVs. We don't even call them resumes. So I had a CV,
Okay.
which is in Europe, And I started to get into the market. My dream was to get a job at Qualcomm at that time.
Okay.
Which is one of the biggest semiconductor companies worldwide. And it was my opportunity to start the engineering career.
And that's just because you were in San Diego and it was kind of visible to you. You saw Qualcomm around.
Exactly. And my brother mentioned it. I started on Google, and this is how I started out. So I was in a rental car. I would put on my suit and go to different companies, door knocking with my CV in hand. Hey, I'm here. I'm Wasim. I came from Jordan.
Yeah.
I would love a job.
Okay.
I even told some of them, I'll work for you guys for free. I just wanted a job. This was months and months into the process. But long story short, about 6 to 8 months later, I landed the job at Qualcomm. It was a very tough journey. I talk about it in the book step by step.
Yes.
The failure, the rejection, knocking on doors, getting told no, failed interviews, you name it.
Such a learning experience, though, isn't it? I mean, the knocking on doors and dealing with rejection is something, right? It takes a lot to get up in the morning, pull yourself out of the bed after all of that negativity, right?
Yes.
And actually just keep knocking on the door, knowing that you got to have faith and eventually it's going to turn out for you.
Exactly. And fortunately, my father was my main motivation. Both of them, my father and mother. I'm fortunate. He passed away recently, and he was...
Bless.
Thank you. But he was there for me, and my mother as well. And a lot of times I was like, I'm going to pack my bags and leave. This is not even worth it. Why am I here? I'm away from family. I'm away from friends. I miss all of that.
Sure.
He's like, no, I promise you, just stick to it. You got this.
Yes.
And when I started my career at Qualcomm, that's when life really started for me here in the US. Started, to meet friends, make connections, understand the culture even better. I always spoke English. That was no problem.
Okay.
But that was my starting point, introducing me to America and you know, everything that's going on.
Yeah, and San Diego. I mean, you know, you were living in the best place to have such a great job.
Yeah,
you know
San Diego is absolutely the best decision that I've made to move here. I love the weather, the beach, the people are very friendly. Great quality of life here. Yeah.
Right. Here we are mid-November. It's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow.
Exactly. And we can go to the beach.
Take me back to Jordan a little bit. What was that life like, your first 23 years? I mean, how were you brought up? Like, what was your upbringing there?
So, completely different culture.
Okay.
Totally different world. You can, you know, if I can summarize it to you, the US and, you know, Jordan, it's two different worlds.
Okay.
Our upbringing is very different because we're more towards family. If you can see, like, let's say the African cultures, Asian cultures, they're more towards family and community.
Sure.
So we were brought up always close. I have a huge family. I have I have 8 siblings. I'm one of 9.
Okay.
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
So I have a lot of nieces and nephews. And my dad actually had me when he was 62.
Whoa.
Very late in his life.
Okay.
So I'm way younger than my brothers and sisters. And I grew up with my nieces and nephews, just to give you an idea. And I'm an uncle.
Yeah.
I'm like this young kid.
Yeah. There's some of that in our culture as well.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, and I was fortunate enough, my father, he was very strict, very tough. But he understood, if, you know, I'm tough on you guys, you're going to be strong when you grow up and go out in the real world.
Yeah.
Because nothing is really handed to you. So he was huge on education. Good. Always, you know.
Great.
Bachelor's is a minimum for him. He pushed me also to pursue the master's, which I talk about in the later stages. And the upbringing was mostly about family. And and then Jordan is known for the 7 wonders of the world. Petra, have you heard about Petra?
Yes.
Okay, so they filmed Transformers, Indiana Jones, parts of it there. And then the Dead Sea, the infamous Dead Sea, the only ocean in the world with no fish, which is crazy. You have to go visit.
Wow.
So Jordan is very rich in culture and history.
It
goes back even to the baptism site where Jesus was baptized.
Okay.
We have all of these churches, Roman structures. We have Colosseums, all of that. Very, very rich in history.
Wow.
And that's what it's known for, tourism. Jordan is big on tourism. So that's kind of the whole idea of Jordan.
The Film Hub is the future of co-working right in downtown Vista. Get energized to go to a safe work environment that is clean and sanitized. Create video content, live stream events, and all of your marketing material in our audio and video facility. Come and visit us at thefilmhubinc.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Fox, founder of Star Fox Media. We're a digital marketing and video production company that focuses on serving small businesses here in Vista, California. We have the team and all of the equipment necessary to produce, film, edit, and distribute your podcast to as many people as possible. For more information, you can reach out to us via email at info@starfox.media or give us a call at 760-385-3117. Let Star Fox Media help you tell your brand story today.
Saving for your finances can be difficult and scary, but when you have the right people around you, it doesn't have to be. My fiance and I understand it's not just about creating a legacy, but also building and serving one another. And that's what we're here to do. Brett and I bring back the fine in finances. We can do everything from saving for your children's future, also building a legacy for yourself. Our mission is no family left behind, and we truly stand behind our mission. You can reach out to us by either following us on Instagram at PipkinBrett or at The Fierce Female Financier, or you can just simply give us a call, 402-617-0645.
So you had a good upbringing. You had a lot of family around.
Yes.
You had, and probably some good role models, other than your father, considering that you're the youngest of these children, right? So you get to see the older siblings grow up, go get educated, maybe go get good jobs or something, but you got to see them moving, and then you could kind of follow and witness those.
Exactly. So 5 brothers, 3 sisters, and most of my brothers are engineers.
Wow.
So I had a lot of competition.
Okay.
So my dad's, he did have a lot of high standards for us, and my sisters all did very well professionally. So that was I'm like, okay, It's almost like competitive, yes. But if all of my brothers are engineers, I can at least be an engineer, you know, so that I can, you know, have a good professional life moving forward. But that is, yeah, I think my father was the biggest motivation for me growing up. Yeah, definitely. And his wisdom, and like I mentioned, you know, he lived up till he was 88 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I talk about his story in the book, very interesting. He was born 1929, post World War I. He lived through World War II. He lived through the recession. He lived through most of the, like, these world issues. And those were the tough times where we, you know, he would ride on a horse to get from city to city to get food, you know, to feed his siblings.
Wow.
And he came from a good background, but he started from scratch and he built his life. Very interesting journey. I do talk about it in detail in the book, but he always had that discipline and drive. And he wanted to instill it in us and his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were the baby, so you were probably the favorite anyway.
Yeah. No. Kind of, but also what's funny about my father is he's the youngest, so but I don't want him to get away with it, you know? So he was also tough, just like the other brothers. But my mom, me and my mom are best friends. My mom, we're very, very close.
Lovely.
And she's here now in the U.S.
That's what I was going to ask. Is she still in Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay.
She goes back and forth, mostly here in the U.S. She's actually going back soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy to get there for you, but still a 19-hour flight.
It's long, yes. It's not the easiest, but yeah, it's doable. You know, 19 hours of flying. You take 2-3 sleeping pills, you'll be okay.
So tell me a little bit more about this Qualcomm job, right? This corporate work. You're in this corporate world, right? And you're getting this job experience, this U.S. job experience. What was that like?
Honestly, I had an amazing experience there.
I imagine you learned a lot.
I learned a lot. First of all, Qualcomm, they have gyms, spas. We used to play basketball on lunch break. We used to do teams and play basketball. So they have, because you are there for long hours, they provided a great atmosphere. They treated employees very well. They paid well. Honestly, overall. And then finally, it was the first time to me to apply all of my engineering, you know, the training and 5 years of schooling and all of that into the real world. And we actually worked on the LTE chips that are in your phone right now.
Okay.
That was we worked on chips. I did testing. I was doing a lot of testing on these chips. So it felt great to have a world impact. You know, we're working on a project that is every iPhone in the world is gonna have, you know, that chip in them, which was very interesting.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And you learned so, but not all of does all of that information from the engineering degree translate into this job? Or I know you went to UC San Diego as well.
Yes. So into the business world, right? You're maybe talking about the transition. The transition wasn't the easiest because I came from a technical background. I loved people all my life. I was always social. And, you know, even though engineers are a little bit more introverted, but I was always, you know, the person in the room, talks to everyone, says hi.
Yes.
And I always wanted to work more with people and have an impact there. Yes, it's nice to be in a lab 12 hours a day, you know, working on computers, but I felt that I have a bigger purpose. I want to go out to the world. So I wanted to learn business and did some research. I saw that the MBA degree covered all the aspects in business, and then you can specialize in something specific.
Okay.
So that's when my journey began of applying to the schools, which is with another story, you know, coming from an international degree and you have to do a lot of tests and the GRE exam, the TOEFL and all of that.
Wow.
Went through the process, and then as I started the MBA degree at UCSD, everything started to make sense. Like you said, I learned everything that I learned from engineering, which is creative thinking, coming up like innovation.
Yes.
So I took a lot of courses on how to build products, how to innovate, how to come up with solutions for problems.
Yes.
So my business idea came in that same year, 2015, 2016. I thought to myself, okay, I was an engineer. I struggled to get a job when I moved to the US.
Right.
How can I create a product or a service that can help engineers or people land jobs?
And you thought of this while you were in school?
Yes. One night when I was sleeping, I woke up, literally, I woke up, I'm like, maybe I should try that. I wrote it down and I went to the school. I told them, I don't know what to do. Here's my idea. Help me.
Yeah.
Literally. I went to all of the different departments, did all of the different programs, mentorship programs, and they are amazing in that. UCSD and the Rady School,
Yes.
they give you a lot of resources.
Amazing school.
Yeah.
An amazing campus.
You know, and then, you know, you're starting out, you don't have any money, right? So they take care of like, okay, let's start the LLC for you. Let's educate you about the legal side, about this, accounting, finance.
Yeah.
And that's how it kind of started back then, 2015, 2016, and the book.
Yeah.
The book actually, it was actually from a painful experience, which was losing my father. So he passed away end of 2015. And for me to deal with the pain, I started to journal. Literally just journaling, you know, writing down my thoughts, writing down my emotions. Again, woke up one day, I'm like, let me turn this into a book and leave it as a legacy for my father. And that's how the idea came about. Again, I went back to the school. I told them, I want to write a book. Help me.
Really? So this was while you were in school as well?
Everything happened within those 2 years, 2015, 2016. And they got me a publishing coach.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man, it was phenomenal. And I hope she listens to this. Bethany Kelly, she's absolutely amazing.
Shout out Bethany.
Shout out to Bethany.
Yeah.
She helped me with this book from I wrote everything, but she helped me with the structure, you know, like fix this, fix that. She mentored me for a long, long time. And that's how the book came about.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. You know, we talk so much about, you know, where people find that impetus, right, to go into business for themselves or you know, to start something, right?
Yes.
And it could be something that's passed down through family. It could be something you see a trend in a market changing and think maybe I can do that too, or
Yes.
you saw somebody else do something, or you're trying to complement another business, or you know, or create something fresh and brand new. But yours came in a dream.
In a dream, literally in a dream. I swear to you. It's so funny. I actually never thought about that. But yeah, the business idea came in a dream. And the name, Wasim The Dream, also is inspired by my father. This is a true story. The night before I was born, he had a dream. And in the dream, he named me Wasim. And Wasim in Arabic translates to handsome or beautiful.
Okay.
The next day I was born, he put my name as Wasim. So that's why the book is named Wasim The Dream, after my father. A lot of people don't know this, but yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. You're telling great stories, man. Let's get into
you.
the reveal.
Yes.
Okay. Wasim Hajjiri is our guest today. Engineer, career coach, speaker, athlete, author. In 2018, Wasim published his best-selling book, Wasim The Dream, The Relentless Pursuit of Turning Dreams into Reality. That's the book you see before you. He was published in Forbes in 2019. He is the owner of Wasim The Dream LLC. Wasim's business has helped clients land over 40 jobs with salaries averaging $150,000 with a success rate of 75%. And over $5.5 million of combined salaries in the past 3 years. Let's welcome the handsome Wasim The Dream.
Thank you
That's
so
what you said
much.
it means, right?
I love your introductions, you know?
Yeah, man.
Your introductions. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I was going to ask you what the formation of that name is, man. That's an amazing story, man. So now you're bringing this business owner's mentality into the corporate world, right?
Yes.
We talk about this sometimes on the show, that not everybody is going to own their own business, right? Somebody's got to work for some of these larger corporations, but you can still approach your world as a business owner, right?
Yes.
You can have some ownership of yourself in your own value and your own worth. And I like it where it even starts with that CV, right? Where it starts with that resume, right? Where they are actually expressing their value, how important it is. And you're teaching them how to formulate those words properly so that they're read and seen the way that a CEO would want to see it and know that they want them to work for them. Is that right?
Yes, 100%. And to piggyback off of that, 70% of US employees are unfulfilled with their jobs. That means 7 out of 10 people do not enjoy what they're doing. Why? Company culture, right? People love to have a voice, love to feel appreciated, valued.
Yeah.
Obviously pay, right? Good pay. Just everyone feels that they deserve a certain salary for what they have to offer.
Yeah.
Give it to them.
Yeah.
Simply. And then most importantly, doing what you enjoy doing. Now, okay, everyone says go after your passion, right?
Yeah.
It's easier said than done.
Sure.
Definitely. But at least to be doing something that you enjoy, right? Doesn't have to be perfect.
Yes.
But not doing something you hate,
That's
which is
right.
a big problem. You know?
I love it, man. I think that's such a, it's so important because, like I said, it gives them some ownership, right?
Yes.
They are showing, they're expressing their value. A business owner isn't going to just run to you and just say, I want to give you more money than you're worth.
Yes.
They're not going to come to you and offer you more money. You have to actually stand up for yourself and say, this is what I believe I'm worth. And then it's a smart business owner will agree with you if you are worth that.
Exactly. And when you're speaking about, let's say my price is $100, if you own it, people will believe it.
Yeah.
So yes, I am, this book is $100.
Yeah.
Full stop.
That's right.
There's no negotiation. I'm not going to give you a discount, right?
Yeah.
Because you believe, Zeke, that I am, this book is worth $100. My experience is worth $100, 1,000, whatever it is.
Yes.
And I'm not taking anything less.
100%.
Full stop.
I love it. I love it. And it also is important that you brought up that corporate culture, right?
Yes.
Especially nowadays, right?
Nowadays, the corporate culture is tricky. Okay. There's a lot of amazing companies out there, which I try to focus on the most. And there's a lot of companies which is a little bit understandable when you have a mega monster like Amazon with, 50, 60, 70, 100,000 employees. That might be a little bit tricky. But in the end, I think people just want to be in a place that they feel peaceful. They feel peaceful in terms of, okay, let me do my job. Let me enjoy it. I will deliver, right? People do not like to be micromanaged, for example.
Right.
So there's companies that have, even corporate companies, but they have a startup culture, which means everyone has a voice.
Yes.
Employees, managers, everyone works together. And I love that. And I truly believe that it's not the customer comes first, the employee comes first. You take care of your employees, they will take care of your customers, and they will take care of you.
Yeah.
Employees come first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I truly believe that.
I like that. And, and that kind of brings back what you had mentioned earlier about a basketball gym over at Qualcomm, right?
Yes.
Just giving them an opportunity to be happy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, now let's get back to work.
Exactly. Take care of your people. They'll like I have a team of 4 of my people, and we literally operate as one family. We have a group. We share news together. We celebrate. We have weekly check-ins. We even talk about our personal problems together because that's real life.
Yeah.
If you come into work and I saw Zeke, like, you're sad today, what's going on?
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with it, share with me, then we can work through it.
Right.
Not just work, like you have things, when you talk about it, venting, that's healthy, that's good.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, like having that family culture is extremely important.
So getyourdreamjob.net. Now give us a couple of keys, right? I mean, I don't want you to give up all your whole bag of tricks or anything, but I love what you're saying about resume building.
Yes.
Right? So how people can become more visible with, to the job that they really want by having the proper resume. Like even if you don't give us the good side, show us what's bad about some resumes that you see out there. When it comes to your wedding, you want to look and feel your best. You don't need to settle for anything less than perfection on the most important day of your life. With Meraki Allure, you can have a custom designed and measured wedding dress that is exactly what you imagine. They will work with you to choose the perfect style and materials so you can enjoy your dream wedding day knowing that you look stunning. Let Meraki Allure help make your special day unforgettable. Book your consultation today at MerakiAllure.com. That's MERAKIALLURE.com. Ignoring squills and warning lights on your car is not a good way to lower the cost of owning it. And going without essential business insurance is not a good way to save money in your business. What we know for sure is doing either will cost you more than you will save in the short and the long run. With YourInsurancePlace.com, you can trust a specialist to help maintain your cars and avoid major expenses. Business owners should look to business insurance specialists when it comes to finding competitively priced, quality insurance coverage for their businesses. At yourinsuranceplace.com, we specialize in workers' compensation, general and professional liability, employment practices and cyber liability, property owner policies, and bonds for most types of businesses. Yourinsuranceplace.com knows that we can help. If you're uncovered, need to lower the cost of your current insurance, or need better coverage, we can help. Yourinsuranceplace.com has been helping businesses for close to 40 years. If you need a quote on your insurance, call us now at 858-569-8100 or find us at yourinsuranceplace.com. We are business insurance specialists ready to help.
I would say even before the resumes, let's take it one step before.
Okay.
First of all, you have to know what you want. You have to know, which means what is the type of culture that you enjoy working in?
Mm-hmm.
What is a salary range that you're happy with?
Mm-hmm.
And what type of work do you enjoy doing?
Yes.
Write it down.
Mm-hmm.
No one does this. Because most people apply to random jobs and, but first, before you look at the jobs, know what you want.
That's right.
After you know what you want, you sit down and you look at what's out there. Your resume, the first step is it has to speak to these specific jobs. Nowadays, there's something called the ATS, the Applicant Tracking System.
Mm-hmm.
About 75% of companies use it to hire people. Because now the old school days of a hiring manager printing out your resume and reading it are done.
Word,
it's all artificial intelligence software.
Keywords.
So the first step for having a successful resume is passing the ATS. And most people don't even know that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
So a website I suggest right off the bat is jobscan.co. You go to this website, you upload your resume, and you copy paste the job description. It tells you exactly what to include in your resume so that you speak the language of that specific job.
Yeah.
That's the first step. Second step is it's all about who you know, right? The corny saying. The resume is good. Yeah, it passed the ATS, but then you need a point of contact for that job.
Yeah.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an absolute game changer. You go on LinkedIn right now, you type in Mark Zuckerberg, you'll find him there.
Mm-hmm.
Google CEO, you'll find him there. LinkedIn, if you're not on LinkedIn, to everyone that's listening, get on LinkedIn now, not tomorrow, because you can find hiring managers for these companies or recruiters directly.
Yes.
You reach out to them. Hey, Zeke, I just applied to the project manager position. Here's my resume. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Because thousands of people are just applying online. But if you're talking to a person, that's going to take you way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Then finally, interview preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Very strategic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the one-on-one practice. It's not about the theory. So get a person, get someone, get a coach, and practice with them over and over and over. It's all about that. Forget about doing your homework and gathering information. When you're in there, the emotions are different, but the more you practice, just like, playing basketball or soccer, the more you practice, the more you get better at it.
Yeah.
These are kind of the three.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's
the three
great
steps.
information. Right
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah. And that's part of what you share when clients come to you with that Get Your Dream Job.
Exactly. So clients come to me, let's say you tell me, Zeke, I want a project manager position at Google.
Mm-hmm.
I take everyone through the exact same three steps.
Mm-hmm.
Branding, networking, and interview prep. Branding is getting your resume locked out and ready for the ATS and the LinkedIn profile. Networking is getting you connected with Google hiring managers and recruiters. And finally, interview prep is where you and I sit together and practice specifically for Google questions one-on-one, and I give you feedback until you're 1,000% ready to go in and knock it out of the park.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about networking.
Networking.
Now, it's so important, isn't it, right? I mean, that's how I met you, right? Just around people, a lot of folks that I didn't even know.
Yes.
But
yes. Networking is everything. 80% of jobs are landed through networking.
Oh.
80%.
Talk about it.
So just like you and I met, right? We are at Mo's birthday. We chit-chatted, done, right? You asked me, oh, what do you do? I have a business. Yes, I have a podcast. Boom. We talked, we connected, and that's how it happened, right?
Right.
How could I've, if I didn't meet you in person or we didn't connect, it would have been hard.
Right.
So when looking for a job, it's the same. You need to be connected with these hiring managers and recruiters at the companies that you like, because they are the people that literally, a recruiter's job is to get you a job, and that's how they make their commission.
Right.
So you reaching out to them, a lot of people are a little bit scared sometimes, like, oh, I don't know this guy, I don't know. But you're actually helping him with his job. Because if I'm a recruiter and you, Zeke, come to me, you land, let's say, $100,000 job, I'll get a $20,000 commission. That's how it works. And the company pays for that. So the networking is the number one key to focus on, and getting connected with hiring managers on recruiters on LinkedIn.
So what's the best process for networking? Like, how do you network? Like, where do you network? Like, you know, where do you see the best returns when it comes to networking?
When it comes to the job, or when it comes to the business life?
Business, just in general, right? Because any networking, it's like you said, and it's not cliche, I don't believe. It's about who you know, right?
Yes.
Making connections, right?
Yes.
And so anytime you can make a connection, there can be a benefit to you.
Yes.
Right. And so you can use that for business reasons. You can use that for getting a different job instead, or a better job because you've met someone.
Yes.
Where do you like to network, or what's your best experiences with networking?
I love that question. So if you're a business owner, networking is about finding coaches or mentors, people who can help you with your business specifically. That's the networking, I believe, for a business owner.
Okay.
If you want to write a book, go find someone, and Google is your best friend here. Someone who successfully wrote a book, or an agency, or other writers, and get connected with these guys. And simple, you reach out to them. Hey Zeke, I'm writing a book and I would love your help.
That's right.
Okay, let's connect. On LinkedIn even. LinkedIn is also huge. I connected with you. If you are a person looking for a job, same thing. But now it's more looking for, let's go back to Google. Okay, if you are applying at Google, go on LinkedIn and look for Google recruiters or Google hiring managers, and connect with these guys on a daily basis. Hey, James, I applied to the project manager position. Here's my resume. Hey, Jessica, etc. On volume. Because some people will respond, some people will not. And as you grow your network, and as you reach out to multiple people, slowly but surely you start to get responses back. People will start to call you, and that's, I believe, is the best way.
I love it, man. And in those face-to-face networking type situations, you spend a lot of time walking around, shaking hands with people, introducing yourself.
Yes.
I mean, okay.
Oh, so if we want to talk about networking events, now fortunately that events are coming back.
I know, right?
In person. Yeah. Meetup. I love meetup.com.
Okay.
Meetup.com has a lot of different events. There's network after work as an example, or you can even do a simple Google search, right? But it's actively going there. First of all, thinking, how can I add value to the people first before asking for anything? That's always in the forefront of my mind. I forget about myself. But I'm like, if I meet anyone, I'm just going to focus on adding value. And if there's a good synergy there, things will grow naturally. So no outcomes, no expectations whatsoever. But I always think about, how can I add value to this person? And then be yourself, just a simple hi, like, hey, what do you do? What's going on? If the person is nice enough, they will engage with you and it will flow naturally. I truly believe just in an organic, conversation.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's great. So now let's give some advice, right?
Yes.
There's folks out there who kind of remain stagnant, right? Aren't ready to ask for a raise yet, or they're not ready to look for a job that could actually better their career. They're be stuck where they are. Like, how do you motivate them or get them, to go look for better job opportunities, or, like I said, ask for raises and those kind of things? Perfect.
Okay, so I would say the first step is to assess where you're at. Okay, so right now in my job, am I happy? Am I really happy? Am I 50-50? Am I 80%? So knowing where you're at first. Okay, now let's say I'm unhappy with my job. And then just like we talked about before, what do you actually want before you do anything? Understanding your worth, that is the first step. Because mentally, if you believe that you are capable of getting these other jobs or applying to other jobs, if you don't believe it, it's never going to work. So I would say the first part is to build that confidence within yourself. And how do you build it? You get someone to coach you and help you grow. and getting rid of the old stories of, oh, I'm overexperienced. Oh, I'm too old, which we all have. Everyone has these doubts. But when you get over the first stage of the doubts in your mind, now, okay, well, let's see what's out there. So you wrote down on that sheet of paper, I want a project manager position. My salary is 120K, and I would like to work in a startup culture. Now you start to look for what are the opportunities that are out there. And then, like we talked about, bring it back to the resumes. Your resume has to speak to these specific jobs.
Yes.
And then getting connected with the hiring managers and the recruiters, and then finally prepping for interviews. Now, here's what most people don't know. You will fail. You will get rejected.
Yes.
You're going to get knocked out on the, punched a little bit here and there. But understanding that, if you go in with that mindset of, I will learn how to deal with the rejection, the failure, and the negative aspects. That's what, there's no other way around it. All I can tell you. I mean, look at yourself, right? You come from an amazing background. You have the family business. You were a DJ for a long time, and now you have multiple businesses. Was it an easy journey?
No.
Exactly. What did you have to do to get to this point?
You certainly have to deal with the rejection, right?
Yeah.
You have to learn how to move past that. And take those experiences and learn from them, right? Anytime that I have ever gotten an experience, I don't look at any experience as negative.
Yes.
And when you have that kind of an outlook, then not only will you teach yourself those lessons, but you can pass those lessons on to others. So maybe they don't make those same mistakes, or maybe they try something different. But that's why I have this podcast, right?
Yes.
Because this podcast has a basis of, or foundation of, explaining what you did in various situations, right? And so I like to invite a guest on who can tell me what they did when they were encountered with that fork in the road.
Yes.
You being just in New York and just like, what do I do now? There are plenty of people in New York not knowing what to do with their life, right?
Yes.
And then you got to San Diego, and then you got the doors closed on you. You're learning from those experiences and pushing past them. So no, it's never easy, but that doesn't mean the dream should stop. Right?
Yes, never ever. That's why I call this book The Relentless Pursuit of Turning Dreams into Reality. You need to be relentless.
No doubt.
And I can tell you the shortcut. The shortcut is to get a coach or a mentor.
I like that. I like that advice.
Someone to guide you, because this will apply to everything in the world. Sports,
you know what's cool too is that there are a lot of folks out there willing to mentor.
A lot.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Yeah.
You remember when I told you, when I got into UCSD, I simply asked for help. And most people said yes. Oh my God, you're asking me. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to help you.
Sure.
And these are very successful people who, made it to the top, and they were very humble, because successful people like to help others. That's how they got there.
And you know why? What I will also say to that?
Yeah.
In our second meeting, we did that by Zoom.
Yes.
Numerous times you asked me, what can I do to help you?
Yes.
And I just like that about you. That's why I say,
Thank you.
Nice guys don't finish last, man. I mean, and I don't think that you were just saying that, just to be saying it. I think you really meant it. And that is something that we can pass down. As people of success, we should all be kind of saying that same kind of thing. And one of the guys in the workshop I told you I was doing earlier about networking.
Yes.
Giver's gain. He said it numerous times. Giver's gain.
Yes. It's so powerful when, giving back, especially without expectation, I would say. That's the biggest one, right?
Sure.
Because if you are in the spiritual, like you believe in the laws of the universe, energy, how it goes back and forth, when you put that positive energy of giving back, it comes to you, and sometimes it doesn't even come to you. It might come to your mom or your family. It's like that energy, you put it out there, it comes back.
Yes.
So I would say the biggest thing, Zeke, for anyone that's listening, anything you want to do, get that help. And YouTube, there's so many resources now. Just a Google search. If you're looking to write a book, you go on Google. It's completely free. How to write a book. You will find articles, you will find coaches, you will find workshops for free. It's unlimited. If you want to start a business, if you want to start a podcast. Also, if you want to get a new job, Google.
That's right.
Don't just go blindfolded. Get the help, right?
Yeah.
You can take a course. You can hire someone. So many amazing resources, and Google is your best friend.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Give me let's lighten up a little bit.
Okay.
And I want to hear because I was reading some things and I'm like, what? You're an athlete. You're a professional boxer. You've done fitness and bodybuilding. You 3 gold medals. I mean, what is this that I'm reading, man? I'm gonna need you to fill me in on some of this stuff.
Okay, so another part of my journey is in the bodybuilding and fitness world. Bodybuilding, weightlifting, fitness. I always loved Arnold Schwarzenegger since I was a kid, and even in Jordan, obviously he's worldwide famous. My dream was always to stand on that stage and compete and win, just like Arnold. 2015, that's exact same year. A lot of things happened.
Yes.
I finally decided to do my first ever competition, fitness competition. I asked for help. Yeah. Okay. I had no idea what I was going to do. I went on Google. I typed, coaches in San Diego, athlete coaches, all of that. And finally, and then through a coworker, actually, I found a coach. Started coaching me, mentoring me, joined my first competition. Got last place.
Okay.
13th place.
Okay.
I'm like so far for, the podium and the gold medal and all of that. But then, like you said, we learn from our failures. I started to get more into training, joined more and more competitions. Finally, after maybe 6 or 7 competitions, I qualified for the US Nationals. I went in there and somehow I won first place. I still don't know how, but I gave it my all. I gave it my best. And I talk about this story. It was special to me because my mom was there.
Wow.
My mom was there in the first row and everyone was kind enough. They took her up to the stage and she stood next to me in the podium. I have a lot of pictures in the book.
Amazing.
And she told me, this is for your father. And she cried. I'll never forget that moment.
Wow.
And that was also a big part of me to, not to never give up. I always also thought about my father, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that was my bodybuilding journey. And then after the nationals, I did the Olympia, which is like the Olympics of fitness, and the World Championships in Italy. And I won, 2 other gold medals there. And that's kind of the whole, the bodybuilding. And then boxing. So boxing, my father loved Ali. My father absolutely loved Muhammad Ali, and I love Muhammad Ali. He's one of my biggest idols. I have a big poster of him in my house.
I love it.
And I started to box when I was, I think around 17, 18, just here and there, having fun with it. And then I met Janix. He'll probably listen to this. He's always on my social media. He trains UFC fighters.
Okay.
Amazing. He's one of the best striking coaches in the world. It's kind of a long story how I met him, but I also asked for help.
Okay.
And he looked at me. He's like, it looks like you have a passion for this. Let me train you. So he took me under his wing and we started to do boxing together. Got into the sparring for a couple of years, the training aspect of it. And then I got my license right before COVID happened.
Oh.
My boxing license.
Okay.
But, and that's how kind of the boxing journey started. But now I'm also back into, now events are coming back. I'm going to do a competition soon. And then I can tell you that boxing is the toughest sport in the world.
Right.
Talk about, you go in the ring, but what I love about it is the spiritual growth.
Yeah.
You go in the ring, the gates are closed, face on. You have to face your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and there's no way to run.
Yes.
And the other guy is trying to, do the same, right? It's like a gladiators in an arena.
That's right.
We're going to fight. We love each other, but that's what I love. It pushes you to the limits mentally, not just physically.
Beyond what you thought you could.
Beyond what you thought you could. And that's what also got me into boxing. It goes back to my dad,
I love it, man. I love it. And Muhammad Ali is one of my idols as well.
Yeah.
One of my regrets, I was out in Louisville, Kentucky.
Wow.
For a few days.
Yeah.
And then I had to leave the day before his museum opened. So I never got a chance to actually see the museum in his hometown. So
yeah.
I can't wait to go back and check that out.
I want to go that. Take me with you.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So, but now it almost sounds like, and this is actually something that has been woven within this show.
Yes.
Over the past couple of seasons, a couple of athletes that relate that to business. Does sports relate to business to you at all? I mean, obviously you got the relentless part.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Teamwork. There's a lot, right? Yeah.
You know what the biggest thing is? Discipline.
Yeah.
Because having your own business it's all about discipline. Because many days you're going to wake up, you're not going to feel like working. I don't care how many hours you meditate and you do all of that. But some days you're just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But the discipline is doing the work when you don't feel like it.
That's right.
You know, there's a quote that says success is 90% of success is just showing up.
That's right.
Just show up, right? And then a lot of times we don't. But I believe it goes back to the right kind of mentorship and being surrounded by the right type of people who will help you, you know, when you have those dark days. Like, you know, Zeke, I don't feel like it. You come here to the studio, your team, everyone's bubbly. Hey, what's up? Let's go.
Yeah,
you feel better.
It.
They inspire you.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing to translate from sports into the business world is the discipline, the mindset of doing the same thing over and over until you master it, and repetition.
Yes.
Right? If you're a sales professional, you do a lot of sales calls to become better and better.
That's right.
If you have a podcast business, you do many podcasts, right? Then you get better and better, and then you help other people build their podcasts.
100%.
Yes.
100%, man. I really appreciate this conversation. You know what? One more thing I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
You working on another book?
Yeah. So shout out to my publisher. His name is Jared Rosen. LinkedIn.
Okay.
I found him on LinkedIn, believe it or not.
Wow.
Because the first book I self-published, and fortunately it became a #1 bestseller. And the second book, Jared gave me the opportunity for a publishing deal. And after I wrote this one, I'm like, I'm never going to write a book again. But he told me, you've been doing the career coaching for about 5 years now. You know, that's a lot of valuable knowledge. Put it into a book and release it to the world. He inspired me. I actually thank him. So somehow I found again, you know, the patience to sit down and go back to writing. And now it's done. The book is called Fulfilled, ? How to Land a Job That Aligns with Your Purpose. It's going to be available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in a couple of months, right after the New Year's. And the book is just like everything we talked about. So it's going to help people with the whole journey of landing a job.
Yeah.
Finding the right type of culture that they like, how to ask for the salary, how to connect with these recruiters and hiring managers, how to strategically prepare for all of the interviews, and most importantly, the mental aspect of how do you actually get that fulfillment in the type of work that you do. And I break it down in the book step by step with a lot of stories and examples and everything.
I love it, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here, taking the time and having this conversation.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that everybody understands that, you know, this isn't something that we planned or worked out or that we scripted out or anything like that. Everything Wasim saying is genuine because it came from just an impromptu conversation. And so I really appreciate how great you are, one, at speaking and just really conveying great messages, real positive, important messages to everybody who's listening. I think that this is great.
Thank you so much. And you're great. You have an amazing energy. You have an extremely powerful, assertive voice. Look at you, like you look sharp. You have a very kind, a very kind heart. I can already tell. You exuberate that energy.
Thank you, man.
And I love people like you who have podcasts so that people can come and share their stories. And you are helping other business owners build their podcasts, because nowadays podcasts are everything. You know, people listen more than anything, more than reading. People that love to listen to, and so thank you so much for your impact, your knowledge, the opportunity to have me here. It's truly an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wasim.
And I know we're going to work together probably on something, or just being your friend. That's an honor for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. All right, guys, contact information. Now we can read about Wasim's journey in his book. You can find it on Amazon or wherever you purchase books. The book is called Wasim The Dream, The Relentless Pursuit of Turning Dreams into Reality. You can also find him on his website, getyourdreamjob.net, and on social media at Wasim The Dream. Now I'm going to spell that for you because it's got 2 M's at the end. WASIMTHEDREAMM. Now you can find that on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes, everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Love it.
LinkedIn, you name
Don't
it.
forget about the LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Please make that clear.
Please, everyone go on LinkedIn.
That's right. That's right. Love it, man. Same business, different day. Thanks so much, Wasim.
Thank you so much, Zeke. I appreciate you.
Thank you for listening to Same Business, Different Day. We truly appreciate your support. Please like, subscribe, and leave a nice comment on all platforms. It really helps our show. The Same Business, Different Day podcast is produced by A Different Day Radio, Star Fox Media, and James Russell.